the Quarterly Theory ICT Indicator, which is available for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. Traders can access the indicator on the TradingView website from this section. They can also read this page to learn about how the indicator works and its functionality. To access the indicator on the TradingView website, search for the indicator's name in the Indicators section and, by selecting it, apply it to your chart. For quicker and easier access to the indicator, add it to your favorites on TradingView by enabling the Add to Favorites option. Once the indicator is applied to the chart, it begins to identify and display different quarters across various timeframes on the price chart. ICT-style traders can easily examine different quarters on the chart using this indicator, allowing for more specialized analysis of price movements and various timeframes based on quarter concepts on the price chart. The analytical system of the indicator is based on the ICT style and divides fractal timing into 4 different sections, displaying them for traders across all timeframes, including yearly, monthly, weekly, daily, 90-minute, and micro or 1-minute intervals. The quarter cycles are based on 4 phases. Q1, which is known as accumulation in the market, where the market in the first phase or Q1 is in a range and consolidation state. Q2 is considered manipulation or the true start of the trend, known as the true open, where traders can expect price manipulation or identify the main market trend based on the true open level. Q3 is based on distribution or the peak of volatility and price spread, where the most significant price movements occur during this cycle. And finally, Q4, which is the continuation or reversal of the price, where the continuation or change of the trend becomes clear in this phase. Traders can easily perform multi-time frame and fractal analysis using this indicator, allowing them to optimize their trade entry and exit points. Within the chart section, when we run the indicator, by default the phases related to the micro quarter are displayed, and at the bottom we can see the phases of the higher time frames. At the top right of the chart, we can see a table. This table displays the different quarters based on their various phases, which we can consider as an analytical aggregation and use for our own analyses. It includes yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily, which covers the 4 main market sessions. The weekly quarter includes 4 market days: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, with Friday not being included. The 90-minute period displays 4 22-minute phases, and finally, the micro, which relates to the 1-minute time frame. In the Settings section, under Inputs, there are options available to us. In the first part, we can enable or disable the yearly cycle. By enabling the first option, the quarter yearly will be displayed on the chart, and by enabling the second option, we can turn the display of the yearly status in the lower window on or off. And by enabling this option in the next mode, we can use the first option to enable or disable the yearly mode on the chart. The next cycle relates to monthly, and in the same way, we can enable or disable its statuses. The next cycle is related to weekly, and finally, there is daily, which includes the 4 main market sessions and shows them to us. By default, it is set to show daily. We can clearly observe this particular section positioned at the very bottom of the interface, precisely situated in the lower portion of the main window, which provides users with the functionality to either activate or deactivate the visual presentation of its corresponding labels, thereby controlling their visibility and display status within the application. It displays the status of each phase for us with a label, and if we enable the first option, it will be moved from the lower window onto the chart, allowing us to examine the daily phases directly on the chart. The next section relates to the 90-minute cycle, which is enabled by default and is displayed in the lower window at the top section. In the Show 90 Cycle Label section, we can enable or disable the status of each phase so that its labels are displayed for us. With the second option, we can enable or disable the display of the 90-minute cycle, which is enabled by default. And finally, with the first option, by enabling this section, we can transfer the 90-minute cycle onto the chart and carry out our analyses directly within the chart. The next section is the microcycle, which is enabled by default here and is displayed on the chart. This relates to the 1-minute time frame, and by enabling the first option, it will be shown on the chart. By enabling the second option, it displays the microcycle for us, and finally, by enabling or disabling the third option, we can turn its labels on or off so that each phase is shown to us. In the next section, we can select the settings related to the table, where by enabling or disabling the first option, we can view the table in the lower panel and on the chart section. With the second option, we can enable or disable the display of the table, and if we disable this option, the table will not be shown to us. And finally, with the third option, we can enable or disable the display of additional information. If we enable this option, on the right side of the table, it will show us information related to each phase, indicating which of the accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and continuation or reversal states each phase belongs to. Here, we can see their states and, in the end, view the supplementary information as well. In the final section, we can also enable or disable the display of inputs within the status line. At the moment, there is no information available for us here. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this indicator tutorial. We'd be delighted if you shared your comments and suggestions with us in the comments section.